She posted on Instagram, "Settling for less because I'm tired of being alone," with a photo of us. I didn't text, didn't call, just packed my things and left. She came home to an empty apartment and a note. "Hope you find more. You're settling alone now." Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. From the start, I was all in. Emma had been through a rough patch, laid off from her previous job during the pandemic, dealing with some family drama involving her mom's health. I stepped up. When she couldn't make rent on her tiny studio, I suggested we move in together after about a year of dating. It made sense. My place was bigger, closer to her new job. I handled most of the logistics, packing her stuff, setting up the utilities in both our names, even surprising her with a little home office nook because she dreamed of starting her own influencer side gig. "You're my rock," she'd say, curling up next to me on the couch after a long day. I sacrificed for us without a second thought. There was that time last summer when I turned down a promotion that would have involved relocating to another city. It came with a big pay bump, but Emma was finally getting traction at work, and she begged me not to uproot everything. "We just got settled here," she said, tears in her eyes. "I need stability right now." So I stayed, content with my current role. I figured we'd build towards something bigger together, maybe a house, travel plans. I even started a savings account for a future trip to Europe, her dream destination. I'd add to it quietly, imagining her face when I'd surprise her with tickets. But looking back, there were cracks. Emma spent more and more time on her phone, scrolling Instagram endlessly. She'd post these curated shots of her outfits, coffee runs, gym selfies. I didn't mind, it was her passion. But she'd make these offhand comments that stung a little. "Ugh, another Friday night in? My feed is full of people at rooftop parties." Or, "Why don't we ever do spontaneous stuff like my friends?" I'd brush it off, plan a date night, dinner at that new Italian place, tickets to a concert. She'd seem happy in the moment, but then back to the screen. Things escalated subtly over the last few months. She'd stay out late for networking events or girls' nights, coming home buzzed and distant. I'd ask how it went, and she'd wave it off with, "Oh, just boring work talk." I trusted her, didn't pry. But I noticed her liking posts from this guy Jake, a coworker she mentioned in passing, some charismatic sales rep with a flashy profile full of adventure shots, skydiving, beach vacations, the works. I didn't think much of it at first. Jealousy isn't my style. Then, one evening about 6 months ago, I was winding down after a long workday. Emma was out, another girls' night. I grabbed my phone to order takeout and absent-mindedly opened Instagram. Her story popped up first, a photo of us from our last date night, me smiling with my arm around her at a cozy cafe. The caption hit like a gut punch, "Settling for less because I'm tired of being alone," with a heart emoji, like it was some cute, relatable vibe. I stared at it for what felt like hours. Settling for less? Me? The guy who'd been her safety net, her cheerleader? I refreshed the app, thinking maybe it was a glitch, but no, there it was, public for her 2,000 followers to see. Comments started rolling in. A few laughing emojis from strangers, one from a mutual friend saying, "Girl, you deserve the world." My chest tightened. It wasn't just a vent, it was a public declaration that I was her consolation prize. The humiliation burned. Our friends would see this, her family, maybe even co-workers. Why post that? If she felt that way, why not talk to me? I sat there in the quiet apartment, the one we'd made together, replaying our relationship. The sacrifices, the late nights listening to her vent about work, the way I'd put her first. Confusion swirled. Was I really less? Had I missed the signs? I felt the unfairness settle in, heavy and raw. But anger? Not really. More like a cold clarity. This wasn't fixable with a conversation. She'd crossed a line, turning our private life into a punchline for likes. No yelling, no frantic texts. I got up, pulled out my duffel bag, and started packing. That night, while Emma was out, probably laughing with her friends or whoever, I methodically went through the apartment. I didn't take anything that wasn't mine. Clothes, my laptop, a few books from the shelf. The shared stuff? Left it. The coffee maker I'd bought as a housewarming gift for us. Hers now. I even left the framed photo of us on the mantle, the one from our first vacation to the coast. Let her stare at that. As I zipped up the bag, my phone buzzed, A notification from Instagram. More likes on her post. I didn't open it. Instead, I sat at the kitchen table, the one where we'd shared so many meals, and grabbed a notepad. My hand was steady as I wrote. Hope you find more. You're settling alone now. Simple, no drama. I placed it on the counter next to my key, took one last look around, the plants I'd watered, the couch where we'd binge-watched shows, and walked out. Locked the door behind me for the last time. I drove straight to my buddy Mark's place. He'd been my roommate in college, always had a spare room. Dude, what happened? He asked when I showed up unannounced, bag in hand. I showed him the post. His eyes widened. That's brutal. You gonna call her out? Nah, I said, collapsing on his couch. I'm done. Let her come home to it. We cracked open a couple beers, and I vented a bit. Not raging, just processing. I gave up that promotion for her, man. Turned down better opportunities because she said she needed me here. And this is what I get? A public roast. Mark nodded. She's an idiot. But you're handling it like a boss. No scene, just out. That first night was rough. I lay awake, replaying the caption in my head. The silence after leaving felt deafening. No impulse to text her, beg for an explanation. Just a hollow ache, wondering how long she'd felt that way. Unfair didn't cover it. She'd humiliated me without a heads up after all I'd invested. But I didn't spiral. The next morning, I blocked her on Instagram and other socials. Kept my phone line open, though, curious if she'd reach out. For now, I focused on logistics, crashing with Mark, updating my address at work quietly. No big announcements. I just detached. The weeks that followed were a blur of quiet rebuilding. I took a few days off work to get my head straight. Told my boss it was a family emergency, which wasn't entirely a lie. Mark let me crash indefinitely, and I threw myself into routine to drown out the noise. Gym in the mornings, work during the day, evenings reading or hiking solo. I'd always been the guy who planned ahead, but now I channeled that into myself. No more putting someone else's dreams first. At first, the silence from Emma was deafening in its own way. I'd expected a barrage right away, but it took her about 12 hours to realize. My phone lit up around midnight that first night. Missed calls, then texts. What the hell? Where are you? This isn't funny. Come home. I didn't respond. By morning, more. Saw your note. That's petty AF. We need to talk like adults. Still nothing from me. I blocked her number temporarily to focus, but kept an eye on mutuals in case things escalated. The confusion hit hardest in those early days. I'd wake up replaying that post, questioning everything. Was I really less? Had I been blind to her drifting? Flashbacks crept in, like the time I'd surprised her with a weekend getaway to a cabin upstate, scraping together the cash from overtime. She'd posted about it glowingly then. Best escape ever with my fave. Now it felt tainted. Or when she'd lost her job last year, and I'd covered rent for months while she figured things out. I'd cooked dinners, rubbed her shoulders, assured her we'd get through it. And for what? To be her safety net until something better came along? I sat with the unfairness, letting it simmer without boiling over. No drunken rants to friends, no social media subtweets. Just me, processing. Mark checked in. You good, bro? This sucks. I'd nod, say, yeah, it does. But I'm not going back. Slowly, the vulnerability faded. I started seeing a therapist, online sessions, nothing dramatic. She helped me unpack how I'd ignored red flags, like Emma's constant comparisons to her influencers' lives. You deserve someone who sees you as the prize, the therapist said. It stuck. About a month in, karma started creeping up on her. I heard bits through the grapevine, didn't seek it out, but our circle was small. That post. It backfired spectacularly. A couple mutual friends messaged me privately. Dude, saw Emma's IG. That's messed up. You okay? One even screenshot comments where people called her out. If he's less, why post him at all? Shady. Her likes dropped. A few unfollows from our group. Turns out, she'd been venting to her girls about feeling stuck, but the post made it public ammo. Then the real unraveling. Jake. Yeah, the co-worker with the adventure feed. From what I pieced together via a neutral friend, she'd been texting him for weeks before the post, emotional cheating, flirting under the guise of work chats. The post was her way of testing waters, maybe justifying a jump. After I left, she dove in. Quit her job impulsively for a fresh start, moved in with him temporarily. But Jake? Total facade. His adventures were funded by debt. He was unstable, bouncing between gigs. He used her for the ego boost, paraded her on his stories as his muse, then bailed when she got clingy. Ghosted her after a blowout fight. Left her with half his rent bill she couldn't cover. Emma spiraled. Lost the apartment. We'd been month to month, and without my income, she couldn't renew. Moved back with her toxic family. Her mom, who enabled everything, and a sister who'd always been jealous of our setup. Job hunt tanked. Her rep in the fashion scene took a hit when the post resurfaced in group chats. Unprofessional, they said. She tried pivoting to full-time influencing, but her content flopped. Desperate sponsored posts that screamed try hard. Friends distanced. The ones who'd liked the post initially? Radio silent now that the truth was out. Meanwhile, I was rising. Landed that promotion I'd passed on before. Ironic, right? It involved some travel, but I embraced it. Hit the gym hard. Dropped 15 pounds. Felt sharper. Started dating casually. Nothing serious. But it reminded me I wasn't less. One night, about 3 months post-exit, I unblocked her number. Curiosity, mostly. The flood came soon after. It started subtle. A text at 2 a.m. Hey, can we talk? I miss you. Ignored. Then calls the next day, voicemails. Please pick up. That post was stupid. I was drunk and venting. Didn't mean it like that. Still nothing from me. A week later, escalation. She showed up at Mark's door, disheveled, eyes red. Mark texted me a heads up. I was home, but let him handle it initially. Tell him to come out. I heard her say through the door. This is ridiculous. Mark, he's not interested, Emma. You should go. She pounded once. Fine, but tell him I'm sorry. Jake was a mistake. He yelled at me, controlled everything. I realize now what I had with you. I stepped out then, calm as ever. She lit up for a second, then faltered, seeing my expression, detached, not the old welcoming one. Emma, I said evenly. What do you want? Her voice cracked. To fix this. I was scared of being alone, okay? That's why the post. But it blew up, and now everything's falling apart. My job's gone. Jake dumped me like trash. Mom's driving me crazy. Please, let's just talk. We were good together. I leaned against the doorframe. You said you were settling for less. Sounds like you found your more, and it didn't work out. Not my problem. But I didn't mean you. It was about my life, the routine. Come on, you know me. Do I? The public humiliation says otherwise. She teared up. I'm begging here. Give me another chance. I'll delete the post, everything. No. That set her off a bit, true colors peeking. You're being so cold. After everything? Fine, be petty. But you'll regret this when you're alone too. I shut the door without another word. Blocked again. But she didn't stop. Her family got involved. Toxic as hell. Her mom called from an unknown number. Young man, you're overreacting to a silly post. Emma's hurting. Be a gentleman and hear her out. I hung up. Her sister messaged on LinkedIn. Of all places, grow up. She's better off without you anyway. But she wants you back. Don't make her beg. Desperation ramped up. Voicemails turned frantic. I can't sleep, can't eat. Jake was abusive, threw my stuff out. I'm at my mom's, but it's hell. Remember when you helped me through tough times? Help me now. Then angry, ignoring me? Real mature. You think you're better? Enjoy your boring life. A mutual friend, pressured by her, texted, Hey, Emma's a mess. Maybe coffee to clear the air. I replied, No thanks. Appreciate the concern. By month 5, she'd hit rock bottom. Showed up at my office lobby. Security buzzed me. I went down firm. Emma, stop this. She was pleading now, makeup smudged. I admit it. I was manipulative, hypocritical. Thought Jake was exciting, but he used me. Now I'm broke, alone. Please, I see what I lost. We can start over. Her words echoed her post, settling, tired of alone. Hypocrisy glaring. I shook my head. Your choices, your consequences. Goodbye. The showdown came at our mutual friend Sarah's birthday party, about 5 months after I'd left. Sarah had invited me weeks earlier. Neutral ground. She said, no drama promised. I almost skipped it, but I'd started seeing Lily by then, a graphic designer I'd met through work. She was genuine, low-key, the opposite of Emma's chaos. We decided to go together. It felt like a step forward. The party was at a rooftop bar downtown. String lights, music thumping, our old circle mingling. I was mid-conversation with Mark when I spotted Emma across the room. She looked rough, hair unkempt, dress ill-fitting, nursing a drink alone. No Jake in sight. Our eyes met. She beelined over, weaving through the crowd like a woman on a mission. "Hey," she said, voice shaky but insistent. Lily tensed beside me, but I stayed composed, introducing her casually. "This is Lily." Emma ignored that, eyes locked on me. "Can we talk? Privately? Please, it's important." I shook my head. "Here's fine." "What?" She glanced at Lily, then plunged in. "I know I've been blowing up your phone, but I mean it. I messed up big time. That post was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I was frustrated, feeling trapped in our routine, and Jake seemed like an escape. But he was a nightmare. Controlling, lied about everything, left me with nothing. I'm crashing at Mom's, job hunting's a disaster, and I can't stop thinking about us. You were stable, kind, everything I need. Let's try again. I'll change, delete my accounts, whatever it takes." Her words hung there, desperate and raw. The hypocrisy hit, begging for this settling she'd mocked. I felt nothing, no pity, no pull, just clarity. "You said you were settling for less because you were tired of being alone." I replied evenly, mirroring her caption. "Looks like you got what you wanted, more excitement, right? But now you're alone anyway. Your choices led here, Emma. I've built something better without the drama." Tears welled up. "That's cruel. After 3 years? I thought you cared." "I did. Past tense. You're irrelevant to my life now." She flushed, anger flashing. "Irrelevant? You're upgraded with her." She gestured at Lily. "Fine. Enjoy your boring upgrade. But you'll miss what we had. The spark, the fun." "No," I said firmly. "I won't." I turned back to Lily and Mark, effectively ending it. Emma stormed off, muttering something about me being heartless. A few friends shot her looks. The truth had spread by then. No one defended her. That night solidified it. Power reversed. She saw me thriving, happy, while she unraveled. No more outreach after that. Maybe she finally got the message. Update 1. 2 weeks later, things have quieted down. Blocked her everywhere permanently, including her family's numbers. Work's going great. Traveled for that promotion. Closed a big client deal. Lily and I are official. She's met my folks, and it's effortless. No games, just mutual respect. As for Emma, heard through Sarah she's still struggling. Posted a vague story about learning from mistakes, but I didn't check myself. Blocked and forgotten. Final update, 6 months post-breakup Reddit. If you're wondering AITA? Nah, I know I'm not. That post was the wake-up call I needed. I've got a new apartment downtown, hitting personal bests at the gym, even planned that Europe trip for me and Lily. Karma's ironic. Emma's settling alone became her reality, while I stopped settling at all. If she sees this, hope you've found your more. I'm good without it. Thanks for the vent, folks. Out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.